Are these people just doing it because every other motherfucker doing it and they're following along like a goddamn sheep? Or are they actually thinking that getting that nutrition in that soon after their training is actually going to benefit them moving forward to reaching their goals?
I know you're going to dig this.
What's going on, girls and boys? How is everybody doing on this yet another stunning evening in the UK? Listen, first things first, if you're the type of person, right, that bitches and moans about the weather, and when it rains and when it's miserable and grey, you fucking cry like a girl. If you are that sort of person, but yet you still don't take advantage and don't get outside when the weather's like this, then quite frankly, you need to be fucking slapped around the face and you need to sort your shit out. So do please get outside, get them steps in, take advantage of this beautiful weather. That's exactly what I'm doing. Trying to set an example. Hashtag just saying, get them steps in. But anyway, I'm going to get on with this subject before this sun sets, because it's looking actually quite low in the sky now. So the subject of today is this. We're going to talk about post-workout nutrition, and I'm going to give you my view and my opinion of what is the best protocol to take, or the best, not necessarily the best route to take when you're having your post-workout nutrition, but more along the lines of what is the most optimal way of thinking when it comes down to your nutrition post-workout. I might get onto a pre-workout one another time, but this one probably will take up a little bit of time. So, right, let's just get into it. First things first, okay? There's this myth going around, and it's been going around. Like, I've been in the fitness industry now for probably close to a decade. I'm gonna turn around because it's looking a little bit dark down there, and I don't want to lose you. I've been in the fitness industry now for about the best part of a decade, right? And when I first started in the industry, or when I first started training in general, this myth of 30 minutes post-workout is the optimal time to get that fucking post-workout nutrition in was around then. And it's 10 years down the line, and I still see this shit floating around on fucking social media or media in general about this fucking 30-minute fucking window, and how 30 minutes is the best time to get your fucking nutrition in. And better yet, I keep seeing in the gyms as well, people finishing their workout and then just going straight after they finish, like 2 or 3 minutes afterwards, going straight in and having that fucking protein shake. And I kind of look at it and I'm thinking to myself, are these people just doing it because every other motherfucker's doing it and they're following along like a goddamn sheep? Or are they actually thinking that getting that nutrition in that soon after their training is actually going to benefit them moving forward to reaching their goals? Is this even in focus? I hope this is in focus. If it's not, I'm going to be fucking pissed. Anyway, we'll continue. Yeah, so I don't understand really if these people are actually having, or if they do even have an understanding of post-workout nutrition, and what is the best route to take when even thinking about trying to get that nutrition in post-workout. So I'm going to tell you this, right? Okay, when we're talking about post-workout nutrition, you have to kind of go on a little bit more of a physiological level. Now, I don't want to try and sound all fucking sciencey and try and throw out loads of different words that are going to confuse you, because let's be frank, there's loads of people out there that do that, and they do it because they want to try and make themselves sound a little bit more clever. But when it comes down to post-workout nutrition, you do, I believe, or you would be more beneficial or more in a better position if you had a better understanding of your central nervous system. And when we're talking about central nervous system, what you have to understand is you are in a constant state of fluctuation between your parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous system. Now, just to put this in layman's terms, when your parasympathetic nervous system is firing, you're in a more calm state. You're in a more relaxed state. If you imagine yourself sitting on the beach, sipping on a mojito, that would be your parasympathetic nervous system at full swing, okay? Now, when you're talking about your sympathetic nervous system, it's more of a heightened state. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of fight or flight. That's basically our ability to be able to switch onto our sympathetic nervous system when we're ready to attack something, or when we're in those heightened states of energetic levels. So when you're training, you have to be aware that you're actually in quite a high energetic state. You're in that sympathetic nervous system. I kind of relate it to being like, there's certain things that you will come across on your day-to-day basis that will pump you up into your sympathetic nervous system, and there's certain times of the day where you'll be sitting in your parasympathetic nervous system. But when you're training in particular, I'm going to go back this way because it's going to be dark again. When you're training, or post-training especially, your sympathetic nervous system is fucking running through the fucking roof, okay? I say that, but that obviously has to take into account how intense your training sessions are, right? If your training sessions are on point and in line with where they should be, then you should realistically be sitting in that sympathetic nervous system, that sympathetic range, post-workout. Now here's the thing. Are you going to have the ability to be able to digest the food that you're putting into your body when you're at that heightened state? What you have to understand is, if you've been training really realistically hard, let's just take, for example, if you're doing a really tough leg session, the amount of blood flow that you've created to that muscle group is going to be fucking tremendous. Now, if you're trying to then refuel yourself, you have to bear in mind that the blood that is in your muscle group at that time, say for instance your lower body, your body is then trying to draw that blood back out and pull it into the gut to be able to digest that food that you're eating. Now, are you going to be in a better state to digest that food when you're in a sympathetic, i.e. a high heightened state of energy, or are you going to be in a better position to digest that food and shuttle it into the muscle fibers or the cells of the muscle fibers that you've just broken down when you're in a parasympathetic state or a more calm state? Now, when you think of it on those terms, you're always going to opt for the second state, right? You're always going to opt for that parasympathetic, nice, calm state, and that nice, calm environment where your body is running absolutely fucking perfectly, for it to be able to pull that blood into the gut, for it to be able to break down that nutrition that you've put into your system, and then be able to shuttle that nutrition into the muscle fibers that you've actually just broken down on that session. So when you start to think about it like that, then you can kind of backtrack and start to think to yourself, well, how long is it going to take me from going from this sympathetic nervous state back into this parasympathetic nervous state, back into that calm state? Now, for me personally, if I'm training an intense lower body leg session, I'm going to take like probably close to an hour, maybe even an hour and a half before my body is fully back to running how it should be, back to that calm state. Now, if you're the sort of person that can get away with doing that within 30 to 40 minutes, then cool. But you have to take a look at everything. You have to take a look at your external environment, where you're training, where are you eating after you're training. Let's say, for instance, if you're in a gym and it's a high heightened gym, like the state, like the music is fucking blaring, and you've been training with a training partner that's been shouting in your fucking ear, and then you decide to finish the session and then straight away sit down and eat, there's no way that you're going to be able to get into that parasympathetic state to make that post-workout nutrition most optimal. Let me brighten this up a little bit. Now, without me trying to waffle on too much longer, I just wanted to kind of give you guys another approach or another look at what you can kind of expect when you're thinking about putting in post-workout nutrition. It might seem like I'm waffling on a little bit, but when I do these rants, I do kind of go off on tangents. But I think the take-home point from this one is have a better understanding of where you're fluctuating between your calm state and high energy state, and just be aware that to get the most, or to be in the most optimal place possible to rest and recover, you're going to have to be in that calm state more so than you will in that high heightened state. So guys, I hope you take something from this video, even if it is just the view. I'll try my best to make the next ones a little bit shorter, because this one's bumping on 10 minutes. Apologies for that, but until next time, guys, as always, peace, love. Can you see that? Woo! Peace, love, sunshine and happiness, and I'll check in with you guys later. Boom.